A man? A woman? No, it's Long. Anyways, next unit on the hit game Grand Summoners is our boy Long. Long is a water and demon unit from the Ninja Saga, and surprisingly, he is the first demon of all the newer ninjas. Wow! His slots include a 6-star physical, in which he drop his true weapon there most of the time. It's not that good. A 5-star defense, which you can sub a nice sustain equip there, like Iris' change of pace. And lastly, a 4-star attack or defense slot, in which you wouldn't limit break 7, since 4-star defense is very situational and not exactly needed. Now onto his kit. His skill deals 2500% water physical damage and increases his own arts by 30 every 10 seconds. This is an okay self-arts gen. Most modern units have 40 plus on their skill, but nonetheless, this is appreciated. His arts deals 27,000% water physical damage, which has an 80% chance to inflict disease if the enemy is bleeding. Little spoiler, his true arts inflicts the bleed. I'm sure most people know just what type of mechanic bleed is, but if you don't know, basically, it's just something you stack up to 3 times, and at a certain level, it'll provide some special effects. It also reduces damage res by 3% per stack. Now, back to this unit. This arts damage is quite high, which is cool, but disease isn't really a relevant status ailment. But some bosses need to have this on them in order to take damage, so in all regard, this isn't completely useless given the high percentage. True Arts, which it deals 80,000% water physical damage and has a 100% chance to inflict bleed, and if the enemy is already bleeding, it increases its bleed level by 1 to a maximum of 3, similar to Luan and Belzar, the new JP character. So this multiplier is pretty damn good for a True Arts, and because no bosses in this entire game have bleed resistance, you're guaranteed to get this applied. But bleed units tend to be a little selfish. To get maximum bleed level, you would require 600 arts on this unit, which is quite expensive but relatively doable. A super arts is a DPS portion of his kit, which deals 180,000% water physical damage, and for 25 seconds, it increases his own attack by 100% and reduces enemies' water resistance by 100%. Attack isn't like crazy, but 100% is still good. But the 100% water res lower is definitely a lot. The multiplier is good, but he lacks his own crit chance, which means he needs a crit support or a defense ignore support to deal some more damage. His first ability increases his own damage by 150% against enemies with level 2 bleed or higher. Probably his most important passive, as 150% damage can significantly increase his damage. His second ability increases his accuracy by 100% at level 3 bleed, which is mediocre and situational. Because of this, getting level 3 bleed is not needed unless you need accuracy for a specific stage. His last ability increases his own blind resistance by 80%. Mediocre and status ailment, so it's good if the boss applies blind to you. His true weapon deals 8,000% water physical damage, and for 10 seconds it reduces the enemy's physical resistance by 30%. If user is water, it'll increase the user's arts gauge by 20 on a CT of 45 seconds. The overall effect of this equip is mid. 30% physical res is the equivalent of like basically nothing, and 20 arts is so little, but maybe its abilities may make it worth putting it on him. So the first ability increases his own damage by 40%. Nope, pretty mid. I'd probably put Mammon Sword here instead, or some other physical equip. The second ability increases his physical resistance by 5%, which is appreciated,